All right, all right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Aki Ami here, the Success Scholar, Honorable One of South Pole. Man, this is something that I've been wanting to really say for quite a long time. I've been very cautious and respectful in the context of, how I express my views and opinions and analysis and understandings and of my some 45 years of living here. But I just wanted to raise this question. Should the members of the Nation of Islam have some levels of respect for credible, decent, upright, outstanding, holistic, knowledgeable, uh, uh, credible Black men leaders, right? So, why did I have to talk about this? Well, several things. I mean, uh, this is more of a long-term thing in the making, of course, but I will take it back. Uh, Once upon a time, I had a sister friend that was a part of the Nation of Islam. I don't know if she was a registered MGT or the Vanguard, or or just a kind of just if she was just a kind of an affiliate of sorts, but I saw some things early that made me realize that sometimes people believe that they have some intellectual superiority over the masses of our people, and that they can speak down on those who they consider do not have this particular knowledge. And I saw that with this particular sister some years ago, where she somehow believed that members of the NOI, FOI were somehow as they say, the cream of the crop. And so I would believe that she probably thought that she had access to, or believed that she interacted with the cream of the crop. But I wanted to propose this right now because, of course, many people for whatever reason may not know who I am or what I've been doing, what I consider the most relevant, perhaps some of the most relevant, empowering, developmental work for Black people of this time in the 21st century. I would perhaps put myself in the number 1, 2, or 3 position if we had a particular scale of measurement of relevant critical work, just based upon my depth of knowledge, my network, and established track record that I have to ensure that I'm reaching the right people and with the right information and the quality of information. But recently, there was a conversation that I thought that shows that members of the nation do not respect other Black men, other Black leaders. And it's gone back way before this, even with the Wesley Muhammad's, and how he went in on Dr. Sebi and many others. But I want to speak specifically about something that happened in Baltimore. A sister posted something about a Negro pastor that has been beating his woman, right? Now I know brother, not like close, but he's a pastor of some little small corner church. And this is not the first allegations. I never said anything before this time, of course, about the Negro preacher, but I said something. I expressed some things, my opinion, and I said something to the effect that we got to be adults about these situations, right? Now, what I meant by that, let me just clarify, and let me just give people a background. I work in an environment where first I have various types of training, former military, worked for the city and different agencies, and I'm in connections with various types of law enforcement as well as, psychologists, social workers. My younger sister is a social worker, not that necessarily qualifies anything, but, I've worked in environments where you kind of know what to do in a case of domestic violence situations, right? And so I made the comment about being an adult, that the young lady that's the victim of this incident should, I said a few other things, but, I said something about her being an adult about it. And, being an adult to me, meaning that you don't let anyone put their hands on you, right? Children let people put their hands on, on you. And so the sister, I don't know if she's still affiliated with the NOI or what, but she wanted to make it seem like I was I don't know if that was a victim blaming thing, or don't tell them that they need to man up. I know you meant well, but I work in the field, and this sister don't never say nothing to me out of all the things I've done, but you just gonna plant that seed that somehow I'm, minimizing this young woman's pain, right? So I'm just like, why are you commenting on to me? Like, what gives you this confidence, this arrogance to think that you can question what I'm saying? Like, you don't have no depth of knowledge more than me? Like, as if to suggest that somehow me saying that the young woman being an adult about the situation is that far adversarial or causing more pain in the young woman. I don't know the young woman, but let me just go back. This brother ran for office or whatever, and I said that this woman was one of his biggest cheerleaders. And I said that these Negro ministers, they get away with everything, and they are allowed, they put on these pedestals in the Black community, and ain't nobody say a damn thing about it. So these ministers are getting away with abusing Black women physically. And this is not an isolated thing, because during this guy ran for office, and it came out. Some of the people that ran for office against him put it out there, about his domestic history, right? So I went on to say that, sister, why, I think this is a little biased, right? I think it's disrespectful. I think, you wouldn't say this to no Muslim, no NOI member. You wouldn't come out your mouth thinking somehow that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, that I'm like someone to be disrespected, or I don't have no sense or emotional intelligence enough to say what I said, right? So the she came back and said, I know you meant well or something, but suffice to say, I just thought like that you would not tell a minister in the Nation of Islam that he's wrong for saying that. You wouldn't say that to another NOI member, because there's this credibility and respect level. And I'm just like, no, well, you need to put some respect on, real black men, not necessarily suggesting that members of, the Fruit or anybody else may not be real black men, but like you need to know that there are some men of some decency, integrity, wisdom that's doing the most empowering freedom work for black people of this time. And that's me. And so you don't discredit the Success Scholar in front of, these Christian black people, these Christian black women. And then, some of them like, oh yeah, girl, you're right. Making it seem like somehow I'm victim blaming or that I don't know what I'm talking about. So I just went on. I had to expand the conversation, right? Because you don't, I mean, it was like, it was rather hypocritical. And this is what I mean by that. Because you're not totally, no, what the other sister said something about, well, she's always been speaking out. Now, no, because I said something about you got cut cards. You have cut cards about abuse and domestic violence related issues. And what did I mean by that? What I meant was Minister Farrakhan, for instance, how he diminished, neutralized, and kind of belittled the Addie Long situation. The clip is on there. The clip is around where he said that they were of age, right? Or that they were consenting, but you want to tell me, the Success Scholar, about don't diminish this with what little bit I said. So I'm here to say right now that, the Minister Farrakhan's job is done. Put some respect on those who are doing the most relevant work right now. All right. And if you can't question him allowing for pedophiles to go on and to get a pass, like Africa Bambaataa, let's go back. Africa Bambaataa up in New York, when people came together to rally for Brother Hassan and Poppy, Hassan Campbell, and I'm sorry, that's Poppy, and B. Stinger. And shout out, there's a film coming out on Africa Bambaataa, Caught in a Culture. That's going to be coming out soon. I went and saw the previews up in Philly a few weeks ago. But if you're not going to say anything about the Africa Bambaataa and the leaders that said something about that or diminish that, and the R. Kellys, he's a deeply spiritual man. He's a deeply spiritual man. And Tyler Perry, he's an intellectual giant, right? And Dr. Malachi Z. York, that molested hundreds of young people, gave children herpes. And but yeah, you don't have any cut cards, but the leader just allows for these people to walk around. Huh? So let me just shout out people that kind of called him out. Irritated G, Hassan, Ashe Divine, a sister, and Young Farrell. All of these people have, on one way or the other, added to this discussion. So I'll close soon, but I just want to say one more thing. One clip, Minister Farrakhan said that he hit his woman and his woman hit him back or something with a pot or something. I don't know. You all can look it up. I tried to find it, and he said that was the last time he hit his woman. So I'm like, you trying to discredit me in front of these sisters, but you won't say anything about all of these other things. So I'm just here to say, brothers and sisters, that don't let for members of the Nation of Islam discredit you or discredit your work or make you feel that you don't have any wisdom or you lack knowledge or depth, because they apparently have supreme wisdom and the women are taught that their men are the best men, when in reality is that, many of the brothers are just followers, right? They're just going along with the program. Although the program may not make any in-depth sense, with the aircrafts and now the Scientology. And so what I'm simply saying is that it's time for some people, some people need to check all of these things. You can't be a real masculine black man and then having people promoting R. Kelly. No real strong black man. And I've seen the differences of opinions. But some of these people, they into these celebrity cult mentality, right? And they don't think that nobody, the world, their little world, they don't know the true depth and work that other people are doing. And they don't respect and appreciate other people's work and their worth. So don't allow for these people who are closed-minded. They haven't studied for sure. They have no depth of knowledge, certainly not in comparison with the success scholar movement. And they're not building anything totally independent for our people, and they're not positioning our people for real power. So it's time for real, true leadership. It's time for leaders that have some depth and leaders that have integrity, that want to protect our children. And we're not going to allow for black women to be confused and to discredit real black men like myself, who's doing the most relevant work out here. And it don't matter, because it's coming. It's coming. More and more people are going to wake up. I'm in position. I've been investing to get in position that most of these people can't even comprehend. And so, I'm not necessarily worried about the small-minded people talking about how many damn views somebody has. You don't know who I'm interacting with. You don't know the moves I'm making. So I'm not, some people are just playing little games and following, these religions that people just want to walk into, and they don't think. They don't think for themselves, and they're not leaders for themselves. And so I just want to close and say that members of the Nation of Islam certainly need to respect real black men, and certainly the women should, if you want to be having conversations. How about some of the more relevant work I'm doing? How many books I've sold to hundreds and thousands of people? Right? Death books, books that none of the members of the Nation of Islam are not even aware of, right? The most relevant research, more practical knowledge than what the Eat to Live talked about, right? Updated analysis. And so I'm just saying that you can keep drinking milk if you want. You can keep waiting on spaceships if you want. You can go and run and join Scientology, and you can run and tell Tyler Perry he's a great giant, or R. Kelly he's a brilliant spiritual being. Bishop Eddie Long, that he didn't do it. It's a conspiracy. Dr. Malachi Z. York was innocent. You see a pattern? You see a pattern? I certainly do, and many others do. And so I just had to put this out there because, people, and let me just, go back because the brother called me. Her brother called me. I respect the young man. I always respected him. And that's why I deleted the post. I deleted the comments, man. Because I'm just like, you know what? It's better for me to walk away from this, because I just started going in on Farrakhan and the hypocrisy of you claiming you standing up for people that's been abused. That's fake and phony. Let me just make it plain. Like you can't stand up for abuse victims. The Nation of Islam can't stand up for abuse victims. Like not. It's just not in. It shouldn't nobody believe that any member of the Nation of Islam at this time in 2000, I say 14 to now, that they stand up for abuse victims like that. It's hypocrisy. It's absolute hypocrisy with what Mr. Farrakhan has said repeatedly. And I don't care what Dr. Boyce Watkins has said, because he doesn't have any depth or well-roundedness. He doesn't, know he's not centered in Black consciousness. And any of these other, people that cannot understand and see these patterns as they have. You got a lot of intellectual, popular YouTube people out here that are afraid, not necessarily afraid, but intellectually don't have some success to stand on, and they can't, and their own integrity is questioned. And this is why I can say these things, because I don't have a history of abusing women, or I don't have a history of protecting abuse victims. So I don't think that the NOI have any grounds to offer any critiques of the Success Scholar, right? And it may be small or whatever, but I'm just going to put it all out there at this particular time, because, you discredit my work in the front of people that respect me. And it's like you put me on this low level that you're so ignorant to know what I'm doing for our people, more than most of these ministers out here. One strong believer is more powerful than 1,000 false worshipers. And so I'm sitting here just realizing how unfortunate and disrespectful many of these people, they get that false sense of security, false sense of esteem. And none of them are building anything. They don't have an analysis to build anything for the masses of the followers, like the Success Scholar movement, is building. But I need intelligent, intellectually well-rounded thinkers, not just people that's going to show up and just march, right? And so to the brothers that respect me, maybe you don't, but I just had to make it plain, because again, more and more people are going to wake up now. More and more true leaders have become awakened about these things. That video, Ite Genie, got 30,000 views on it. You think people not looking at that? And many of these older, weak leaders that just keep putting the nation and Farrakhan on a pedestal. I mean, you can't. I mean, I know there's some decent members of the nation. They see these things. They see those things. So you can't be a hypocrite and say you stand up for abuse victims when the minister is defending pedophiles, right? So you can call it what you want. No, he ain't protecting them, bro. Well, no, he just soft on them. That's all. All right, call it what you want. Call it what you want, but you ain't gonna be nowhere. Question me. Stay out of it. Don't say nothing to me or on my post calling me out about anything when you don't say nothing. You don't have nothing good about the real relevant, empowering work that I'm doing. See, this is why these people are so disconnected, bro. They ain't doing nothing. They not growing, right? They're not growing because they would see the work and they wouldn't feel like they could disrespect the success scholar like that, right? They would. I mean, they wouldn't. They could feel like that, but I mean, really. And these other sisters allow for these other sisters to kind of to de-edify me, right? In their eyes. So I'm saying, for the work I'm doing, again, being one of the most relevant builders in the 21st century, I'm just like, it's not going down like that. So I got to make this thing plain. And so for those that's ready to join the real movement, stay connected to the Success Scholar. You got to read and study and educate yourself and build, and you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. You got to escape out of these little groups that's keeping our people enslaved. Where people not qualified to grow. Like I just, look up Kansas and Royale, the one of the offshoots of the Nation of Islam. How they had this woman working for 30, 40 years, and she didn't get paid, barely got paid. That's how many of them actually are working. They're not, you're going to end up poor. And I had to, I've supported many of them over the years. And I saw that they don't support Black people back, right? Right? It's like a pyramid scheme. With those at the top, get all the benefits. And again, just like for instance, and I'll close with this. We talk about raising our children. And one of the minister's child, he wrecked some damn cars. Wrecked an Escalade or something, a Hummer. I'm like, how the hell did he get access to a Hummer? You can look it up. I'm like, hell, I could use a damn Hummer to get some real work done. I ain't gonna get drunk and whatever, high and crash the damn cars up. Let me use the car, minister. Or get some of these other ministers to get me a car. Huh? I deserve a car with the depth of knowledge that I'm doing, but I'm not worried, and that's where, our people are all over the damn place. They don't know, they're not looking for true quality, upright leaders. They're looking for entertainers and people that, are kind of, I ain't gonna say, just kind of fragmented background. So that's all I had to say, man. I'm out. I just wanted to drop this, piece, because it was kind of, just destructive. It's just negative that somebody can feel that arrogant and disconnected from what's going on in the world to think that they can just discredit the success scholar like that, and just to put me down like I'm some little thug or something, talking about the girl, man, and woman being an adult. Yes, be an adult, and don't let nobody put their damn hands on you. You got to get away from that. So that was my point, and shouldn't nobody be calling me the hell out? Should nobody be tagging me in any posts? And should nobody feel that and bullying these little Christian women who don't know a damn thing into believing somehow that they are legitimate, that they are legitimately concerned about domestic violence issues in the Black community and other abuse issues in the Black community. No, it's a cut card. No, they have selective amnegronesia, right? So that's all I have to say. And I'll just say one more thing. And I don't know this other group, these 4Ds, I don't know why they haven't said anything about Bambaataa, Dr. York, Eddie Long, Tyler Ferry. Yes, I said Tyler Ferry. And what's the other one? R. Kelly, claiming you some called a free thinker, and you haven't said nothing about that. So I just wanted to close and let them know that, we have more credible leaders out here, more leaders with some integrity, track record, decency, uprightness, and true success. And so for those that's ready to follow a true movement, don't end up poor. Don't end up poor and ignorant. That's how you're going to be if you keep on being somebody's lackey forever. So that's all I have to say. I'm out.